In this video, we're going to be doing a tree decorating compilation with 7 different style trees, the first being a gingerbread theme, and then we're moving into an old world tree with orange slices and even pumpkins. And we're going to do a winter wonderland woodland tree theme. Really fun. Also, we're throwing in an enchanted garden themed tree. So pretty and different. Of course, we're going to have a very vintage, very traditional, classic, nostalgic tree. And one of my favorites, a Delft kind of blue inspired French country flocked tree theme. And then last but not least, a beautiful, classic, traditional, but very Victorian tree. So I hope you enjoy this video and that you take away tons of inspiration and ideas on how to decorate some of your trees for this 2023 Christmas. Smallish room, but look how fun all these ornaments are going to be. We got tons of gingerbread ornaments. These are the ones that I made with salt dough, and then I just used some puffy paint. Most of these were from Hobby Lobby and Target. We use candy canes, just tons of different cookies. For my dining room, I had a vision of dried orange slices hanging from my tree. So I am just reaching into my fridge and bringing out some oranges that we already had. This was the first time that I had ever dried orange slices, and my plan was to just go low and slow. So I kept the heat at about 170 and placed the orange slices on parchment paper, and I just let them dehydrate in that warm oven for several hours. But after doing a few batches of these, I found that the best way to dry my oranges that helped them maintain the most vibrant color was to use a cooling rack in the oven. And that way, I think the oranges had more airflow from the top to the bottom, and they turned out really beautiful. I am definitely going to bring these out year after year. And then I just used metal ornament hangers, some really pretty gold ones, and poked those through the flesh of the dried orange and hung them that way. And here's a look at all the decor that I pulled for the dining room, Christmas/Thanksgiving, plus still a little bit of fall, as you can see with the pumpkins there. So of course we're going to use a lot of the orange slices, and then I also have some cinnamon sticks. And then I thought that these kind of rusty orange shimmery pine cone ornaments would be beautiful on the tree as well. So we're gonna nestle these in front and center. I have 8 of them, and I did find these at Hobby Lobby. I like to kind of move the branches away. That's one nice thing about a artificial tree, is you can manipulate the branches in order to fit your ornaments. So here you see me using some moss to camouflage some paper that I had stuffed down into the base of my tree there. What we ended up doing was taking some round like exercise weights, and they just so happened to have the perfect size hole in the middle of them to kind of hold our tree stand in this antique Chinese rice bucket that I got at an estate sale. I thought it would make the perfect vessel for a tree. So there's a tip for you. If you don't have one of those round tree bases, you can use weights, the round weights with the holes in the middle. And here's where we bring in those fall kind of Thanksgiving elements. And I am using the heirloom pumpkins that I got for my fall porch, at least some of them. And I thought the colors of these would go perfect. They're greens, and there's kind of that peachy orange pumpkin. So these are just gonna go underneath my tree, and I just love how this looks. I think it is just so upscale looking, like something you would see in a magazine.
Don't forget to light the candles. Chase the shadows with those bright lights. Keep the warmth up through the cold nights. Let the children play with gifts and dreidels. Share these moments with my loved ones. I can see the light reflecting in their eyes. Welcome to the first of nights. Celebrate a miracle.
So let's start by decorating the tree, and I like to start at the top and work my way down. So I'm using these picks from Hobby Lobby that are like a wispy, kind of a birch tree branch with some pine cones. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a woodland theme as well in this room. I knew that I wanted to use all of these beautiful green bulbs that I had gathered from last Christmas when I used them on my just all green tree in my living room. They're also beautiful. I think I picked them all up at a boutique of sorts. So I'm just going to start placing all of those on to make sure that they have a really good prime spot on the tree. I also added on these absolutely gorgeous mercury glass ornaments. I thought they just fit the theme perfectly. So let's keep decorating. now that all the bulbs are on the tree just the way that I like them and everything's in place, it's time to add those finishing touches. So I thought the tree looked like it needed a little bit of softness, so that's why I'm adding some of this fluffy white ribbon. So I'm just tucking a little bit of that in and out of the tree so that it has that really nice ribboned effect. And probably my favorite part about this tree are these little bird picks that I placed just at the very top. I found these at Joann's and I just love them. They are so precious and perfect for this tree. It is a beauty. Ivy, hydrangeas. I think that is going to be so beautiful for the Balsam Hill. Had so many gorgeous summer florals to choose from for like centerpieces, garlands, hanging baskets. I'm going to continue adding florals to the tree. I had these very vibrant green hydrangea stems throughout my house. I'm just borrowing them for this tree, but wouldn't this be beautiful for like a wedding? You could have one of these heirloom trees that you invest in once and literally have probably forever. They're that high quality, but I'm just picturing this like 2 trees for a wedding, outdoors, even indoors if you want to bring the outdoor inside. And I love the idea of just draping it full of florals. That's what I think of every time I walk by the tree, is how beautiful this would be for a wedding. Well, I also made a trip up to the 3rd floor where I keep all of my additional decor, and I found this box full of summer florals, Most of it has all been thrifted, and then some bird cages that probably were also thrifted that I gave a little makeover to at one point in time. But I thought the bird cages would be perfect to go along with the secret garden type of a theme that we're doing on the tree. So let's tuck these gently in there. And I'm trying to decide if there are any other florals in this bin here that would work on the tree. I'm trying to stick with a color scheme of just that really citrusy green, the soft pinks, and mostly purples. So a lot of what I have in here is a little bit too bright pink, I think. And now you see me adding these really large, fluffy white balls that I actually had for my daughter's nursery when she was a little baby. I had them hanging over her crib, but they were in with all my summer florals, and I thought maybe these would look cute, just kind of tucked in strategically in a couple spots. All right, so I got this, I thrifted this a couple months ago, and I'm gonna put this down at the bottom here to hide the bottom of the tree since we raised it up.
Gaze upon the sky, Christmas on my mind, somewhere from a place up high above. There's a song of love traveling afar, seeking us to warm up every heart, to be our light into the night. Bless us with a moment of serenity. Let it come to bloom, joyful Christmas news. Hope will find its way to you. Peaceful little lights, Christmas on my mind, somewhere from a place up high above. There's a special star shining from afar, seeking us to warm up every heart, to be our light into the night. Bless us with a moment of serenity. Let it come to bloom, joyful Christmas news. Hope will find its way to you. Hope will find its way to you.
When everything is white, glimmering silver white, and stillness fills the night, it's Christmas, a winter wonderland, a snowball in each hand. Take me away, Christmas Day. There's joy in the air, families near. We give thanks for this past year. Oh, nothing compares to the love that we share. Oh, what a bliss, a green red delight.
And here's a little scan of some of the ornaments we're going to be using. As you can see, there's blues and neutrals, and then some like dried eucalyptus with some blue and white pattern. It turns out so pretty. Can't wait for you to see. So as you saw, I started with a ribbon and then I went to any type of pick or spray. And now we're moving on to the bigger bulbs, the more substantial bulbs that I know I really want to kind of tuck deeper into the tree limbs. And then after we're done with that, we are going to move on to the specialty bulbs, still in the larger size, and then you kind of work your way down to the smaller bulbs. For the ornaments that you just saw me holding up that said joy, I simply went to Hobby Lobby and grabbed some craft paper in the colors and the patterns that I wanted to use. And then I made the letters with some imitation gold foil, and I just kind of traced a little stencil to put down the gold leafing bonding agent, and then you just brush it on. Somehow I don't think I got footage of that process, but it's just as easy as what I said, and anyone can do it, that's for sure, but it is very messy, so it's a forewarning if you've never done it before. Well, I hope you're getting some good DIY ornament ideas from what you've seen me do so far. So next, I'm just making some very simple round ornaments with that beautiful blue and white floral craft paper from Hobby Lobby. And by the way, all of these little wooden pieces were also from Hobby Lobby, just in the wooden craft section. And then I just drilled a hole at the top to turn them into an ornament, or used some ribbon. And then I just used some sandpaper along those edges just to clean up any of the overhang of the paper, and that worked out great. A little bit of rub and buff on the edges to kind of conceal that raw wood, and some embellishments with those metal pieces that I also found in Hobby Lobby, I believe in their jewelry making section. And here we are. These turned out really cute too. have some beautiful vintage ornaments that I found at an antique store. I have some DIY ornaments, just some unique things to help curate my vintage Victorian traditional Christmas tree this year. Here we are up in our attic. I'm pulling down the ornaments, kind of going through. Thankfully, everything's labeled pretty well, so I know what I'm working with. But I'm out of breath from going up all those flights of stairs. But here's my pile. I already took one down. And next, I want to show you an up-close look at the vintage Christmas ornaments that I found at the antique store. Look at how sweet and beautiful this ornament is with a little girl on it. I told my daughter that that was her. I found quite a few of these with all different prints of different scenes and art kind of on the front. And I think I paid $4 a piece for these. I absolutely love every single one of them. They fit in so perfect with the theme of my tree this year. Next, we have these beautiful cream-colored glittery musical instruments. It looks like there's harps. I'm not exactly sure what the other ones are called, but I think that these are going to look so elegant on my tree. I also picked up this really pretty little church ornament in this kind of golden mercury glass finish. I think that this was actually from Joann Fabrics, so not vintage, but it kind of looks like it. And I really liked these beaded ornaments. I love the color of them, the little bit of glisten that they give off. And this one was also really beautiful, just a simple, shiny golden ornament. Most of these were around $1 a piece, I believe. This stained glass poinsettia ornament was also from Joann's. I paid up for this one. I want to say it was around $6. And these little guys I thought were really cute, just the cloche kind of a look to them, and those were from Hobby Lobby. Okay, I love these. I'm going to show you the coolest thing that they do. They light up and there's like a little flickering candle inside. I just think these are the cutest and sweetest ornaments ever. I think I have 5 of them all together now. I love the glow that they give off. Here's another favorite, and these are also from Joann Fabrics. I loved the poinsettia like fabric applique that's on them. I just think those are so charming and beautiful. I think I picked up 3 of those. And then this little guy, I thought he was also charming. He was from Hobby Lobby. I also have this adorable cardinal ribbon. I think that was from Joann Fabrics. And then of course I also grabbed some red velvet ribbon and some cream. And then these ornaments here still in the package were also from the antique store. I always start my tree decorating with the ribbon first, and I thought that I would try this kind of creamy colored satin ribbon. I do end up putting on a few strands, but later I end up taking it off because it ended up looking very, very white on the tree, and I just didn't feel like it was giving me the look that I was ultimately going for. So you will see the tree change over the period of this video because it took me about 3 days to decorate my tree to get it to where I really loved it and was happy with it. So I knew I really wanted this red velvet ribbon to be a strong feature on my tree, and I thought some bows would look very pretty hanging throughout the tree. So I just started making some bows with the ribbon. I kept the tails pretty long because I knew I wanted to have that kind of trailing feature going down the tree, kind of being tucked in and out of the tree. So I think I made 4 or 5 of these, and then I'll show you how I place them on my tree. Now we're going to pop in some of these big, beautiful poinsettia picks that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. This is going to just give us our nice pop of red throughout the tree and kind of fill in any bare spots. I tend to go a little non-traditional with my tree topper, meaning I don't use a star or anything store-bought that is intended to be a tree topper. I usually like to use picks, or in this case, I am using some faux hydrangeas, and then we're going to kind of build upon that, make sure we have some red at the top of our tree, and we're also going to give the tree a little bit of height. So let's see what I come up with. Well, as you can see, the tree is now looking a little bit different, and that is because I kind of redid some things. I wasn't happy with the bulbs that I had on there. They were just too modern looking, too white. I wanted to give it a little bit more pattern and texture, so I thought that these cardinal ribbon strips would look beautiful in there and give me the effect and the feel that I was going for, and I definitely think that they do. So now at this point, I'm really starting to see the tree come to life, and the vision that I had in my mind for this very traditional kind of antique, vintage, Victorian tree, the ornaments, the vintage ornaments, they're just all working really well off of each other. And so now it's time for the fun part of placing all of the really showstopper ornaments and making sure that they're getting their front and center place on the tree. Okay, and so I also did some DIY ornaments for my tree just to give it that personal touch. I went ahead and found some doilies at the antique store, and all I'm doing is using those to cover these plastic, just very plain bulbs. And I'm just using my hot glue gun, and surprisingly, they went on very easy. I accidentally filmed all this in high speed, so I hope that you can still kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. Like I said, the doilies were already round. They were kind of the perfect size, so this was a really, really easy DIY, and they looked beautiful on the tree. So these next DIY bulbs, I am using this gorgeous red toile that I found also at the antique store. I just got super lucky that day. So this did come in kind of an awkward rectangular shape, so I kind of had to figure out how to kind of cut them so that I was using the most fabric and not wasting any, and then also so that it would kind of lay on the round bulb as nice as possible. So I eventually got it to where they laid really smooth and it wasn't buckled up and stuff, but the pattern didn't line up perfectly, but that's okay. I think you still get the idea of the toile on the tree, and it just gave that beautiful touch of pattern and that pop of red. So I'm gonna show you close-ups of everything, of all the ornaments once they're on the tree, so that you can get the whole feel of how everything came together. And to continue with the toile theme, I wanted my tree skirt to be toile, and the thing I came up with was a curtain in the correct color scheme that I was going for. I just couldn't find any blankets or even material that was as good of a price as a really large curtain panel. So that is what I'm using here. 100% cotton. It's really, really beautiful. So I'll leave that linked down below for you also. And I think I might have saved the best for last, because these little flameless clip-on candles just kind of made the whole tree. I will have them linked below for you so that you can find the exact ones that I got. I feel like you got a lot of them for a great price. And like I said, they're just so charming and sweet. They add the perfect little flickering glow. They even come with a remote. They are just so awesome. I love them so, so much. So if you're going to buy anything new for your tree this year, I definitely recommend these. I think they go with any style of tree. They are just so, so fun.
Everything glistens and everything's bright. Everyone's happy and spirits are light. I am sitting here thinking, alone with my drink, as I do this time